Welcome to the Masters of Luxury. Today, we have with us Malik Fernando, the founder of Resplendent Ceylon, which boasts the world's first tea bungalow luxury resort. Thank you, Malik, for your time this morning for Rob Report India's Masters of Luxury. What does luxury mean to you personally?
Authenticity, sense of place, connected to, say, terroir you might have in tea or wine. It's not about, the hardware. The hardware is important, but it's about, it's how it kind of makes you feel. So it's not the best of or the top of or, the best sheets or the best wine. It's about, at that particular moment in time, the serenity and, the satisfaction you have of being in that particular spot. For me, it's about unique or a rare or unusual experience that is not generic. There are many generic experiences in travel. And I think in Sri Lanka, certainly with the Resplendent Ceylon properties, we strive to do something that is not conventional.
Traveling around the world, what are the key pickup points that you have taken, that you've implemented in your professional life?
Dilma tea is my background. Until about 2005, my brother and I were working with my father in the tea business. I stumbled onto tourism in a way because of my travel experiences and what I saw in my travels, and I thought, look, we can position Sri Lanka like that. It's constant learning, and I'm a firm believer in Kaizen, which is this incremental improvement.
What are some of the hotels around the world that have truly stood apart for you personally as a hotelier?
Most recently, I was at a beautiful Relais Chateau property called Villa della Pergola in Liguria in Italy. I love the Sanders in Copenhagen, St. James's in Paris, Carlisle in New York. There's so many iconic properties.
Tell me, Malik, you've spent most of your youth abroad and then you came back to Sri Lanka. What really made you come back home?
My father. I had no choice. Not really.
Usually a lot of times that's the case.
I wanted to come back, because I saw how hard he strived with my brother and I through public school education in England when things were very difficult in Sri Lanka. So his sense of mission and purpose in repositioning Sri Lanka through Dilma Tea, the world's first single origin brand. And I saw his passion.
What was really your luxury philosophy when you started Resplendent?
At that time, I was looking after the estates for Dilma, and I used to go up to the tea country regularly. And I love architecture, I love design, and I love history. And I love tea, obviously. This is a perfect intersection in that area where you see these houses, they are falling apart, literally, because they were not being utilized properly. So I thought, why don't we renovate and upgrade these? And I wasn't thinking of luxury, to a good standard. And then we had people who used to consume Dilma tea, and there was a little leaflet from my father saying, come and visit Sri Lanka. So they used to contact us saying, can we stay on your estates? And that's how the whole thing started.
Are there any hoteliers or otherwise who've really inspired you in your journey in hospitality?
There are independent hotels. Sonu has been an inspiration to me in terms
This is Sonu Shivdasani from Soneva.
Yeah, how we started in the Maldives, our neighbor, and how we started Soneva Fushi. And for me, that sense, and we are looking at a few similar barefoot luxury properties on the East Coast, which has been undiscovered in Sri Lanka. So it's people who are on the edge, innovating in terms of sustainability, regeneration, because that's very important to us, because we're the largest private foundation in the country in terms of social justice. We do a lot of work in the conservation space.
How would you define luxury travel? What does it mean to you?
Luxury is something which is unusual, which is rare, which is a special experience that touches your heart. So luxury doesn't necessarily mean over the top. It also means something which takes you out of your comfort zone and just makes you feel at that point. In my view, it's seamless, it's anticipatory, it is learning, it is where you come back, and it's been a memorable trip.
So tell me, other than Sri Lanka, what has been the most memorable trip that you've had in the recent past?
Every year, I curate for 6 friends, and my wife and I, so 8 of us, we do a secret trip somewhere. We had a pause during COVID, but we had an amazing trip just before I curated across the north of Spain. Green Spain, No other tourists, only domestic tourists. We land in Biarritz and go across the Basque country, ending up in Galicia, because in search of Albarino, which is a favorite grape, and that was just coming into prominence around that time. Now it's fairly common. So that was an amazing trip. We just did one a couple of weeks ago, west of Italy to Liguria, Cinque Terre and all of that. And there again, there weren't many tourists. I think it's about going to relatively untouristed places, which tend to have better, more authentic food.
Malik, your most extravagant holiday that you can share with us?
Till my father passed a couple of years ago, every year for about 10 years, we used to go on a Silver Sea cruise. We had our favorite ships. We used to take the best cabins, and there were 10 of us, my brother's family, mine, and my father. And, we used to have such amazing, he picked up the tab, so we went nuts. Just walk into a suite and just sort of stock the thing up with the best of champagnes and wines and so on. An amazing Relais Chateau restaurants on board. But the extravagance was not simply the creature comforts, but that whole being with the family, sailing in the middle of an ocean, and just connecting with my father and my brother and his family. So for me, we've not done that since he passed, but I want to resume that tradition.
What is that one bucket list experience that you're looking forward to doing at least once in your life?
I love trains, and I've done many of the famous train journeys. It's not necessarily luxurious, but I'd love to do the Trans-Siberian.
Your favorite car brand?
Porsche. Sorry.
Favorite watch?
Patek Philippe.
Favorite fashion brand?
Laura Piana.
Favorite spirit?
I love a good malt whiskey.
Favorite holiday destination other than Sri Lanka?
Other than that's tough. Northwest of Italy, undiscovered Italy.
Thank you so much for your time.